a worm farm, definitely do not do this. The worms just really hate it. Garden is all about compost worms, composting, farming worms indoors and out, and growing some of the most awesome food around. You can learn how by clicking the subscribe button and hitting the bell so you don't miss any of my videos.
Welcome to the Marty's Garden Show.
G'day my friends, Marty Ware here from martysgarden.com.au with an exciting video log for you today because I've had a problem with one of my larger worm bins and I want to share the story and the experience so hopefully you won't make the same mistake too and then have to go through all the problems and hassles that I did. So we're shooting the video log today. I'm going to pick the camera up we go. Nice beautiful day outside today, nice and sunny. The carpenter across the road, the builder's making noise again with his little drop saw and stuff. So we're just going to keep filming anyway because if I stop because of him, then I'll never get anything done. Surfboard's at the back. I got a new surfboard, guys. You guys haven't seen it yet. It's amazing. So, what do we got here? Let's have a look. Yeah, some of you may have guessed it's the hungry bin. So I've got to be honest with you guys, as much as sometimes I like this worm bin, there are times when I dislike it as well because I'm not used to having such large systems, even though I've had it for a year now. It's the first time it's moved inside. And last night when I come here to check the worm farm, there was worms just everywhere, but it was a really hot night last night. So just keep listening and you'll find out what the issue is there. Now, this camera, the light isn't so great, so we're not getting the beautiful macro worm shots. But you can see there's two good sized worms there hanging right on the edge. Obviously they're herders. And you can see they've been moving around prolifically all around this hungry bin, right? All around the lid, back around. Now there was 10 times as many on here last night, but it was a really hot night. And it was just nuts. And so I think I better help this little fella. Hang on a second. Here you go. The worm herder will help you get back in. And we'll push these ones over too. Come on. They won't like the light so much. So, what we've done here is I had a whole lot of material in here you would have seen in the other video. And what happened was it hadn't broken down properly. It hadn't gone through, I thought it had gone through the whole heating process. And it hadn't. Because the hungry bin is so large and holds such a big volume, all that bacteria started heating up and breaking down again, and it was getting hot. And the worms were like, oh no, we've got to get out, it's too hot, I can't handle it. It's just like we don't like it. We put on the fans and the air conditioning, but they don't have that option, so they just got to bail. And look, you can see here, if we can get that on focus, there. It's not focusing, it's in very well, but it says that it's nearly 30 degrees, it's 27 degrees in Aussie temperature and floating around about, so we've got Fahrenheit, I think it's 120 is the highest, and we're floating at around about 80, I believe, yeah, around about 80, so excuse my the focus coming in and out here. The light's not real great in here. So that's still too warm. We really want to have it around about, you know, not really going over 24 degrees. So it's already 6 degrees over for the Australian standard. And that's too warm for them. They don't like it. So they will get out and move around freely. Now this material is colder compared to the soil that's there. So I decided to put a whole lot of wet cardboard and newspaper and towel and different things in here because that actually works as like a natural air conditioner when I wet it down and keeps the top part of the worm farm cool. So they're just hanging around basically in that, and it's keeping them alive, and they're obviously, you know, like they're staying on the top part of the soil here as well. And if we move and dig under here, they are under there, so that's not bothering them too much. But it was last night because it was way above 30 degrees and they were just like, get me out of here. Now I'm sure that if there's any my African night crawlers still left in here, which I'm sure there are, they wouldn't be bothered too much. But my red wigglers and tigers and things, yeah, they don't really like it being that hot. And you know, we've still got a few cruising around out here. And some experts say that if you've got more than 6 cruising around, you have a problem. And I've definitely had more than 6 last night. I know that. And, you know, I'm just going off what other people say and things like that, as well as my own experience over the years. I've seen this happen so many times for so many different reasons. Worms moving out of worm farms. So, but heat, or like the things breaking down and putting off bad gases, are 2 of the main culprits. I've had that happen here, or I've put too much chicken manure in here and the gas coming off it. It's just, I can't remember what the gas is called now. Someone will put that name of the comment down below for us. Oh, hang on, we've got one coming out here. We better get this bloke out. And so there's probably a good, I'd say I've just been putting them in sporadically in here, probably a good 1,000 to 2,000 worms in here. I just don't know, because I've changed the bedding twice since I brought it in. I've lost count on the numbers. So don't do what I did, guys, and put into a large worm farm material that hasn't fully broken down through the heat composting process yet. Even if it's just got a little bit to go, in a large volume, it still will get warm. Especially, like, I made a big mistake doing it in the summer months, even though it's in the garage and it's cooler here. It really affected the productivity for the last 6 weeks, or the last month of this farm. And it slowed it right up. I don't think I've got any cocoons in there at all. They weren't really very happy. They still look healthy. So, you know, we learn as we go. And that's why I wanted to share that mistake with you, because it's a really common thing to do, and it's one main reasons why worms will escape. So the normal, like, worm cafes and things like that, if you're putting like 2 tiers on there, that's quite a fair volume, and I would class that as a large worm bin. The hungry bin, like I've got there, the little small worm farms such as the maize, not really a problem, because it's such a small amount, it won't really heat up too much. Now, if you're in a very cool place and you want a bit of heat, you can actually do this and keep your worms warm. I do this outside in my windrows. I create broken down compost and I let them feed on the side right where they want to be at the optimum temperature. That way they still lay cocoons and feed. I just got to be careful not to turn it over too much, because then I mix them in and they find hot spots. They wriggle out. I've seen them come out like straight for the top and then roll down the side of a compost pile because they got it burnt their butt. So we can use it to our advantage, but just be very, very careful the way you go about it. So if you want to learn more about worm farming and organic gardening in small spaces and urban places, please subscribe to my channel before you go. I've got the free worm farming course over at martysgarden.com.au, plus another organic gardening seed raising course over there. Links down below in the description. They're really great courses and you'll learn a lot. Have a great day, happy gardening, and we'll see you at the next vlog real soon. Don't forget, Grow Table also. People are loving those videos, the Grow Table. I'm going to stick with it. Here comes the flexi hand's going to come in real fast. Bye for now.
There's dirt on my hands.
See ya.
Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.